So, folks, just letting you all know, Alligator, Alcatraz, Auschwitz, however you want to refer to it, is still open. It's still operating, and every day that goes by and it continues to operate is a crime before the world and God. And I just want to, tip my hat to the people who are working tirelessly to try and get this place shut down and to curtail its activities by any means available to them. And it's honestly lovely to see. Okay? One of the ways that one man has decided to fight back is that he has decided that he is going to trademark the name Alligator Alcatraz so that the government and people looking to profit from this can't. So he is seeking the trademark, and it's pretty great. Let's take a look here.
A group of local men are determined to turn what many see as a negative into a positive opportunity.
That's why they have filed to trademark the name Alligator Alcatraz in 2 different categories to reclaim the story on their terms. News4Jax reporter Khalil Maycock here in studio. Khalil, one of the men you spoke with says this is his way of fighting back.
Yeah, so Eric Battle says at first he felt helpless seeing everything that was happening in the Everglades, especially with the Republican Party of Florida already profiting off the detention center, selling things like T-shirts with the facility's name on it. So he wanted to file a trademark in a different area that would potentially block what he calls other hate merch from being made. This is a screen grab.
What an absolute Chad, by the way. See, this is the kind of creativity when you look around, when you see ICE taking action, when you see different communities feeling like they're powerless. Let them know that stuff like this is happening. You know, put your heads together with your local orgs, with your local groups, with your local people, and figure out what you might be able to do to counter these maneuvers, because there is no one in a position of power who is currently scheming on how to put a stop to this. It is just us.
Showing Battle filed to trademark the name Alligator Alcatraz this week in Class 28. If approved, it'll allow him to own the name for toys, board games, and some gym equipment. Battle says he came up with the idea after seeing images like this and not feeling right about it. This is the makeshift detention facility in the Everglades for those who are accused of being in the country illegally, where people are sleeping in cots, behind fences, and conditions at the facility have come under scrutiny. Instead of staying upset about what he called bad treatment of immigrants, he wanted to make a difference. So if approved, he wants to create toys under that umbrella that will be educational.
We want to make toys. That's what we're going to start with. We want to make toys that inform children and adults about the destruction of the Everglades. We want to tell a story through the toys for children. Eventually, we'd like to have stories that the Miccosukee tribe could tell through these toys to children. These proceeds would go back to the Miccosukee for land buying, all sorts of stuff like that.
What a fucking cool dude, you know? What a cool guy. And you might be thinking, wait, the Miccosukee, what is that? What are you talking about? Well, this is coming after an indigenous tribe called the Miccosukee intervened and sued the Trump administration over this facility and stopped its planned expansion. Let's take a look at how they did that.
Federal judge is one step closer to making her decision on whether Alligator Alcatraz violates environmental law. Last Thursday, the judge filed a restraining order pausing construction at the new immigration detention center for 14 days. Wink News reporter Maddie Herron joins us live from outside that facility right now. Maddie, how close exactly are we to a decision?
Yeah, well, I have breaking news just in the past 30 seconds. I have someone from the Miccosukee tribe who's been contacting me. He's been in court all day. He said that they just wrapped up from the day. I'm reading our messages right here. He said the plaintiffs and defense rested and that the closing decision will be tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. So it's a matter of hours till we find out what that decision is on the detention facility behind me. And like we've been saying, federal court, it does not allow cameras inside. So we weren't able to be inside the courtroom today, but we can still paint a picture of what the defense lawyers for the state and federal government defending this facility talked about today. And we're able to see that through court documents. Now, I've been doing some digging with these court documents, and here is what I found. The Florida Department of Emergency Management stated it has worked hard to not harm the surrounding environment. They cited how pavement was only placed over land that was previously filled when the airport was first built in the 70s. The state also commissioned a preliminary ecological evaluation late last month to identify any potential environmental impacts. According to the documents, the study found that the detention facility does not meaningfully affect local wildlife, including native plants, panther, woodstock, and more. Now, a big part of the lawsuit is that the facility threatens the Everglades wetlands and wildlife. That's what it alleges. It's why environmental groups in the Miccosukee tribe have asked the judge to issue a preliminary injunction to stop operations and any future construction, essentially shutting down Alligator Alcatraz. Now, again, it's all up to this federal judge what her final decision is. We just got in the last minute or so news that that final decision will start tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. and we'll be updating you with the latest on her decision. For now, live in the Everglades, Maddie Herron, Wink News.
So, yeah. I believe this case is still ongoing. But one of the allegations there, it's not just about like wildlife, it's not just about like, oh man, they're gonna kill some turtles. The Florida Everglades and those wetlands in particular are where southern Florida gets its clean drinking water. Like, you can't have life down there without those wetlands, okay? A Florida federal judge, yeah, I can see the answer now. Well, if you could see the answer now, then it would be pretty interesting that she put a TRO on it to pause all that planning and all that construction. I don't think it's I don't think it is, a foregone conclusion here, especially as there are other lawsuits against the facility. In addition to the ones you would expect about like infringing on rights and such, there's a new one from today. Alligator Alcatraz disease outbreak claims spark lawsuit. So, yeah, detainees at the newly built immigration detention site in Florida Everglades allege that a respiratory disease, possibly COVID-19, spread through the facility and prompted legal findings that challenged conditions and sought greater access to lawyers for migrants held there. An attorney for one detainee described conditions at the remote tented camp as a petri dish for disease, and protesters and lawyers said ambulances had been frequently observed arriving at the site. So, again, the amount of lawsuits are just piling up on this, and it's not surprising. It is a hell on earth for the people who get sent there. Even the guards who are there are coming out, like quitting after like a week on the job and talking about how they're seeing people be tortured in real time and they can't deal with it. Between the trademarking of the name to shut down the use of its name as merchandise, between the several different lawsuits that threaten to shut it down. Talking Points memo on top of this one. Inside one Native American tribe's fight against the Alligator Alcatraz detention camp. When President Donald Trump toured Florida's so-called Alligator Alcatraz immigrant detention camp on July 1st, he cast its location in the Big Cypress National Preserve as a remote and inhospitable place. Despite his description of a punishing landscape, there are Native Americans who have been living in the area for generations, including just adjacent to the controversial detention camp. On August 1st, the Miccosukee? I know I just said it right like a few minutes ago. Tribe joined a lawsuit filed against the project because their intervening complaint alleged the federal and state agencies involved in the construction of the camp were not adhering to the required environmental review procedures. The complaint also specified the tribe attaches historic, cultural, and spiritual significance to the areas affected by the construction and operation of the detention facility. It's an abomination to the whole concept of sovereignty. William Popeye Osceola, the secretary of the Miccosukee tribe's business council, told Talking Points memo earlier this week during a conversation about their reasons for fighting the detention camp in court. For us, we have traditional practices. Our medicine men need access to a clear night sky for certain traditional practices. The reservation is about 10 to 15 minute drive from the detention camp. And yeah, it's interesting. I want like an update on where this case is. It seems like it's kind of in limbo still. Wait, this is 9 hours ago, but it's reposting a week-old article. Fuck you. Again, like, okay, I'm just getting articles that are reposting other places that are like, a judge has paused it. So I have no additional info besides that, but like, this is what I'm talking about. When we talk about how we can get creative, we can look at these different areas that we reside in and take a look around us and see what we can do. You know, no one is asking you to fix everything, but we are asking you to look around and see what you can do. Look around, get together a few friends, see what you guys can do together. And like, I understand the pessimism, Luna Rose, but also they got those people out of El Salvador. Like, the administration can't ship people to El Salvador anymore. Or rather, the people that are being detained there en masse have been released. There are still deportations occurring to third countries, which sucks. But that is also being challenged in court. They have been? I didn't see that. They have been. They were returned, and they're going doing the media rounds talking about their time being tortured. I believe the Bulwark has an interview with Andre, the hairstylist, who was in CCOT. Well, no, One-Eyed Heathen. CCOT is still there. Again, an abomination in front of the entire universe. But the people who were sent there by the Trump administration were returned. How are you supposed to get through to people who in our lives who like and support Alligator Alcatraz? People who buy into the memery and cruelty. My dad is supposed to be a Christian and he supports this. I mean, I don't know that you can really get through to someone who gleefully supports a project like that, you know? I think someone to a certain extent has to be ready to listen to you, and someone who is gleefully posting memes about how people are being tortured is not ready to listen to you, you know? It's sad, but people have to be receptive. Communication is a two-way street. But hey, good things can happen, folks, especially when we fight for them. All right? Good and better things are possible, even in this, the dumbest timeline. Never, ever, ever give up.
Riverboat Jack is going to town. All the viewers gather round. Twitch and YouTube and Swishy streams. All that content is bursting the seams. Politics, dating, plenty more. Your sense of fashion you'll adore. So grab your stuff and hop aboard. We're going straight to Jack's Discord. Riverboat Jack.